Hello, my name's Callum, I'm 20 years old and I live in Australia. This is every supplement I've taken over the last year to try and help me increase my testosterone naturally. Today I'm going to be ranking each of these supplements on a tier list, from S standing for super to F standing for fail, to see which of these supplements I would recommend buying again. For one of these supplements to make it into the S tier, it must have these three things. Evidence that it can actually increase your testosterone, be relatively affordable for the average person, and lastly, be something you can't easily get from your diet. Okay, let's get started. We've got a lot to get through, and first of all, I'm going to be starting out with a multivitamin. If you'd asked me probably 6 months ago, I would have ranked this multivitamin a lot higher. Why? Because it contains, well, literally every vitamin and mineral, for the most part, that your body actually needs to produce testosterone. And so that's why I'm ranking it in C tier. The reason I'm ranking this lower is because the majority of these vitamins and minerals can be found just from eating a normal, well-balanced diet. Next is magnesium glycinate, and this is responsible for over 300 different enzyme reactions in our body. And a lot of these reactions require the synthesis of testosterone. So there is plenty of evidence stating that a deficiency in magnesium can lead to decreased testosterone. In terms of the price, well, I only paid about $30 for 2 months supply, and it's relatively difficult for you to get magnesium in your diet because there aren't a lot of whole foods that contain a lot of magnesium. And especially if you're an athlete, sweating, working out, playing a sport, you're more than likely going to be deficient in magnesium, and this is going to cause a decrease in your testosterone. With all this being said, I would put magnesium in the S tier. I think every single guy on planet Earth should be taking it if it's their goal to be a better human and, of course, increase your testosterone. Next, we have vitamin E. For the most part, this is very easy to get in foods like olive oils, avocados, and just good quality fats. Vitamin E is an antioxidant, and there has been some studies to suggest that this antioxidant can help prevent free radical damage in testicles and increase total testosterone production. It definitely has evidence that it can increase your testosterone. I did pay something like $25 for this, and in my opinion, just eat an avocado a day, have some olive oil, have some other healthy whole foods that can actually increase your vitamin E levels. Again, if you're eating a whole food diet, your vitamin E levels aren't going to be deficient and you aren't going to need to supplement. And so that's why I'm putting vitamin E in B tier. The next supplement is milk thistle. And even though this doesn't have a direct correlation between increasing testosterone, what it does do is help repair and optimize your liver. If your liver is working properly, you can detox from endocrine disrupting chemicals and increase your testosterone that way. I got a blood test done a few months ago which kind of showed that my liver was struggling, so I started taking milk thistle to help aid in healing my liver. We'll see in a few months' time whether this has actually done any significant effect or not. I'm hoping it will. In terms of the price, I paid something like $25 for this bottle, and it lasts for 2 months, so it's relatively affordable. It can indirectly help increase your testosterone, and it's pretty difficult to get from a normal natural diet. And so that's why I'm ranking milk thistle A on the tier list. The next supplement I took to help increase my testosterone was something to repair my gut. If your gut is not functioning properly, good luck having high testosterone levels. I can't remember who said it. I think it was Hippocrates or Socrates or someone Greek said all disease begins in the gut. And if your gut isn't working properly, as a man, your testosterone can't be as high as it could potentially be. And so again, similar to milk thistle, even though this isn't directly related to testosterone, it's important if and only if you have gut issues. Now, I understand that not everyone has gut issues. This cost me something like $70, which was relatively expensive. But for me, having my own gut issues was a justified expense. I'm going to be ranking it a C for increasing your testosterone. But again, if you're struggling with gut health, then this is something that you could potentially take. Next is boron, which has actually been shown to increase free testosterone and decrease SHBG significantly. Boron is one of the elements that is very difficult to find in our diet these days. You can get some from sultanas, raisins, Brazil nuts, but you can't get anywhere near 10 without eating an extremely high amount of those foods. Boron's relatively difficult to find naturally. It can increase your testosterone and free testosterone, and that whole bottle of 250 capsules costed me like 20 bucks. Boron is going on the S tier. The next supplement is cod liver oil. This one in particular, I wouldn't buy again because it costs something like $80. But what I'm currently taking at the moment is Nordic Naturals omega-3s. Essentially, us as humans are mostly deficient in omega-3s and we're eating too many omega-6s. And it's this ratio that's causing all sorts of health-related problems. Omega-3s are pro-anti-inflammatory and omega-6s are pro-inflammatory. So if you have too much omega-6s in your diet, from seed oils, chicken, other stuff like that, it's going to exert pro-inflammatory effects on our body. Obviously, if we have system-wide inflammation, this is not good for our testosterone, and so that's why we need to be supplementing with omega-3s. Although there isn't an extremely high amount of evidence out there suggesting omega-3s do increase your testosterone, I believe they inversely do by decreasing that system-wide inflammation in our body. This cost me something like $60, and it is somewhat doable to get omega-3s in our diet. You can eat wild-caught fish, you can get it from ALA types of omega-3 from walnuts, flax seeds, but this as a supplement is a very good shortcut, and that's why I'm ranking it A on the tier list. Next is vitamin D3, arguably one of the most important hormones responsible for testosterone. I made a video about this just recently, talking about vitamin D3 deficiencies actually causing more skin cancer than the sun. Very controversial video, I know, but vitamin D3 has been shown to increase your testosterone. It's super cheap to supplement. The only problem I have with vitamin D3 as a supplement is, well, go out in the sun and get your vitamin D3 that way. As long as you expose yourself to the sun in the right way, don't be stupid, don't get sunburnt. There's a perfectly good way to get vitamin D3, and that's out in nature. So that's why I'm giving vitamin D3 as a supplement an A ranking on the tier list. Next is pine pollen. If you don't know, pine pollen itself actually has like testosterone in it. If you break down pine pollen, it has a molecule that is exactly the same as testosterone. The only problem is, well, I don't actually know 100% if the testosterone you eat gets converted or used as testosterone in our body. There's some evidence suggesting it does. There's other evidence suggesting it doesn't. In my opinion, pine pollen is probably more of one of the scammier supplements out there. People talk about its testosterone boosting effects, but in my opinion, probably doesn't do the greatest job out there if you're just looking to increase your testosterone. It cost me something like $35 for this tin, which is kind of expensive, and I feel like I got scammed a little bit. I'm ranking pine pollen as a D on the tier list. The next supplement is vitamin C, and more specifically, acerola cherries. I don't really know how to pronounce this. Essentially, vitamin C is again another antioxidant that our body needs, and this one's water soluble. So for the most part, you need to be getting vitamin C in your diet every single day. And there has been a bit of evidence to suggest that a vitamin C deficiency can decrease your testosterone. So it's important to make sure you're getting enough vitamin C in your diet. The problem with supplementing with vitamin C is you can eat one orange, one kiwi fruit, like 200 grams of sweet potatoes, and have all the vitamin C you need in your body. I paid something like $50 for this almost a year ago now because it's acerola cherries. And I also want to say that regular vitamin C supplements that are much cheaper, that contain ascorbic acid, are also pretty shit, and you shouldn't be wasting your money on them, purely because ascorbic acid is made in a lab and you want to be getting vitamin C from natural sources. Fruits, vegetables, there's really no excuses. It's so easy to get your vitamin C levels in. You should not be supplementing with vitamin C. And on top of that, all of these fruits and vegetables contain the real authentic version of vitamin C with all the flavonoids and polyphenols associated with it, which are just way better for your health. In my opinion, supplementing with vitamin C is an F on the tier list. Next we have glutamine, which is an amino acid that most of us actually become deficient in immediately after working out. So there has been some research to suggest that taking glutamine after a workout can actually help restore those levels and increase protein muscle synthesis. I am not an expert in this area. I'm not going to pretend like I'm one. The reason I ended up taking glutamine was again to heal my gut. This glutamine ended up costing me about $30, and because there is some evidence that glutamine is necessary for muscle protein synthesis, I'm going to be ranking this D on the tier list. Zinc is one of the most important minerals you can take for your overall endocrine health. Your testosterone is made and regulated by your endocrine system, and so if you're deficient in zinc, your testosterone will also be on the floor. Supplementing with zinc though is a little bit more controversial, because if you actually take too much zinc, this can mess up your copper stores in your body and cause other health related problems. On top of that, if you're not deficient in zinc, supplementing with it is kind of completely useless for testosterone purposes. So very simply, if you eat red meat once a day, maybe once every 2 days, you don't need to supplement with zinc. If you're not eating red meat, if you're having it once a week or less, this is a necessity. In terms of ranking this on the tier list, it has been shown to increase testosterone if you're deficient. It is relatively affordable. This bottle cost me $40, something around that, and it is somewhat difficult to get in our diet. So that's why I'm going to be ranking this an A on the tier list. Tonkat Ali and Fedosia agrestis. I heard about these from Daniel Huberman and thought I would try them. And there's definitely a lot more evidence to support Tonkat Ali than Fedosia agrestis, but I put them together because they're both from the same brand and you sort of should be taking them synergistically together. Both supplements cost me $90. The Tonkat Ali lasted for a month and the Fedosia agrestis lasted for 2. Tonkat Ali in particular has been shown to decrease SHBG, increasing more free testosterone and allowing testosterone to actually exert more of an effect on our body. I wouldn't recommend taking Tonkat Ali every single day for the rest of your life though, because it can be quite hard for your liver to break down. So I would highly recommend cycling Tonkat Ali, and I don't know too much about Fedosia agrestis. I know it's a Nigerian shrub herb, and it has been shown to actually increase the production of luteinizing hormone in your head, which gets your testicles to actually produce more testosterone. I would say that you should try these, but be careful if you take them for too long. They could have some consequences to your health. A on the tier list. That's right, ginger juice. Ginger is probably one of the best superfoods, and it has also been shown to increase your testosterone levels naturally. It is super cheap. I think this bottle cost me like $12. It has been shown to increase your testosterone, and incorporating ginger into your diet is quite difficult. So ginger is also an S on the tier list. Hello, this is me from the future. I did initially talk about Shilajit. However, since actually making the video, my opinion on it has slightly changed. Initially, I rated it quite low. I think it was C or D tier, but I've read a bit more research. I've looked at some other things online, and in case you're wondering, my opinion on Shilajit is it's B tier. It's good, but it's not as good as fixing your nutritional deficiencies in terms of the amount that it's actually going to increase your testosterone by. I hope that clarifies a few things if you were wondering. I'll see you in the rest of the video. Wow, that was a lot of talking. If you're still here, I want you to comment ginger down below so that I know how many people are actually watching these videos to the end. There are some other popular supplements here, such as ashwagandha and sea moss, that I haven't talked about. I have tried sea moss before. I'm currently taking ashwagandha, and if there's any more that I've forgotten or that you think I should include, again, let me know down below in the comments. Maybe every year I will sort of do an updated version of this tier list with all of the most important supplements, because as time goes on, my opinion changes. I get exposed to new things, I learn different things, and I think that could be something very valuable for you watching to experience. And I also hope that I've potentially awoken you to some supplements that you could try to help you increase your testosterone naturally. Starting next week, I'm going to be doing one-on-one coaching to help people increase their testosterone naturally. I'm opening up 2 spots, and I've already had about 4 or 5 people apply for those 2 positions. So if you're also interested in getting some help and wanting to maximize the shit out of your testosterone, click the link down below. You can book a call with me and I can see if we can work something out with you. With that being said, take care. Let's talk soon. Ciao.